Today I'm going to show how to set up paper tools, and I'm going to try to start with all of the individual items you're going to need, and I'm going to show you how they connect together, connect up to your router, and also to Mach 4. So let's get started with a list of materials that I need to set up paper tools. First thing I need is, an Avid CNC router. This one I have the Heitco actual router and my CNC machine. I have my Windows PC here running Mach 4, and I have a Razer Kaio Pro webcam that I bought on Amazon for about $100. Comes with a lens cap. I have a USB adapter to hook up the camera to my computer. I have an extension cord that I've already routed through the cable channel of my router to my computer. I have a little adapter, and this is, there's an alternative method, but what I want to show first is this little adapter that goes from an 8mm thread, which is what I have accessible in my router, to this 1/4" thread, which is your standard like 1/4 20 tripod thread for cameras. And the Razer Kaio will mount as most web cameras with a mounting screw or a tripod mount will allow to mount with this. So I bought this on McMaster-Carr, and I'll leave a part number in the description of this video. But there's another way to do this, and I'm going to show that also. So an alternative method is just to take a piece of square tube, and I'm using it as the very simplest kind of bracket, which is basically just some aluminum square tube. Well, it has 3 holes in it, but you really only need 2. Well, I guess it does need 3. Okay, so I'm screwing it in. I'm screwing it into the side of the router. One more bolt here with these 2 holes. And then this is, again, a 1/4" screw that's going to go into the camera. So if you need a little bit more room, maybe you have some dust collection on the router, you can basically make a little bracket so that the webcam sticks out beyond the side of the router instead of mounting. With this screw, it's going to mount, right on the side of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug in my webcam. And again, I've routed this extension cord through the cable channel up here, down there, and into the back of my computer over here. I'm not even going to bother mounting the camera right now. So let's set up the software and get everything working, and then we'll figure out how to mount it exactly facing down. Okay. Webcam connected. Let's go ahead and mount the camera. So I'm going to use the mounting hardware that I showed before, this little adapter, and I'll also show this mounting little bracket I made. So I have 4 positions that I can choose, and if I'm going to use this little bracket, well, then I guess I have 2 height options. I think that the closer you get the camera to the work surface, so you could put this here or up here. I recommend probably putting it lower. You're just going to get a closer view of the material, and the camera can focus that closely. This one seems to be able to. So let's use the bracket. I'm going to grab a little wrench. Okay, I'm just going to, y'all put these machines together, right? So this should be like a piece of cake. Okay, so I've just got my little bracket lined up with the 2 holes in the router. I wasn't very precise on these holes, just close enough to get it so that I can attach it. I have big diameter holes just to clamp it on here. Oh, and you know what else is? Make the screw, this is probably a good point to mention, make the screw that you're going to mount the camera on point away from the router. All right, all of this is pretty obvious once you start trying to do it. So I'm going to put my little bracket on here. I'm gonna put my little camera on here. So I've got the 1/4" bolt already mounted on here. And all I'm trying to do is thread on the camera. You could probably just attach it first, it'd be easier. As a matter of fact, you know what the issue is? Is that you kind of have to twist it so that the camera is definitely facing down. And we'll go over calibration and stuff like that. It's pretty much enough to make it face down. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'll grab a screwdriver and I'm just gonna screw this camera in. I'm just gonna screw this camera in so that it's facing what will be down. Paper Tools needs to know the distance in X and Y where the center of the camera is from the center of your router spindle. That's what's important. So by creating a rigid connection here, we're just trying to preserve that physical relationship. I'm gonna plug in my USB cable. Here's what I do. I just, I have this extension cord. You can see a little better here. And I'm just gonna wrap this cable into like a loop. And I'm gonna tuck it in. So I don't wanna block the top of the router fan. But there appears to be plenty of room here to just tuck this in like that. Okay, that's it. If I wanted to use this little adapter, which would put the camera, very close to where the router is. Maybe you have dust collection on the other side, or maybe you have plenty of room here. You can mount it using the 8mm side onto the router, and then you just screw the camera in right to the other side of the bolt. And as long as you have an unobstructed view of the work surface, even sometimes I notice that when it's on this, it is a little obstructed, so you're just gonna have less field of view in Paper Tools to see your markings and your material and stuff like that. It's still gonna work as long as you can see the center and wherever you're navigating to.